Hello everyone, this is Joanna and I'm trying something different with my camera here. I want to show you a nail stamping demo and I want you to see, and I hope you can see this. I'm trying to see, since my back camera works more clearly, if I can show you a little bit of the damage that is on my nail. When y'all hear me say that my nails are busted, this is what I mean. When I don't have polish on them, I usually spend time meddling with them and peeling these little areas here, and if I squeeze this, I get that little bubble like thing that I can peel, and I need to stop that. Now, I have been using a lot of treatment polishes, but it doesn't really help when I'm messing with my nail. But even the nail stamping that you have seen, that has been camouflaging the damage. So what I'm going to do is probably do a base coat of my Stuck On Blue, and then I'm going to be using this here. Hue is the artist as the color, and you can see that my back camera works a lot better than my front. However, I don't know if my video is going to upload backwards or not. I have not tested that. So we're going to see how this goes. So I will be pausing this kind of because I don't have editing capabilities in my phone while I put on this color, and then we will come back. Now, I do want to share really quickly, and this is kind of an odd angle for me here, a couple of the polishes, or a few of the polishes, a few of my favorite blues that I'm going to be trying to wear this month and part of next month. The first one is my Orly Snow Cone, and you can see that. This is Orly Snow Cone. I like to take this polish and stamp in black, and I like to sponge on white and silver with it and do some looks, and if you're interested, I'll come back and do that. One of my favorites I love wearing by itself or using white to stamp over is Rich Girls Po' Boys by OPI. And this came out of their New Orleans line, and I love wearing this by itself. And another one that I don't have here, I think might be Isabel, if I'm saying that right. It's a blue one from Julep. I believe it's Isabel, but I could not find that one. And oldie but goodie here is Pacific Blue, and I love using white over this one too. I do have a backup of this polish because you know they quit making it, and a gift from my friend Tara, which she gave me this one here, and this is Reality Star, I think that says. And this was from that new line that it came out at Walgreens that I don't think they make anymore, Color Prevails. I don't know if they're still made or not. But these are some pretty nice polishes, and I love this one with the look of light blue stamping. So as you can see, I've done one coat of this polish. We're going to pause, and I'm going to try to do another, and I do apologize for this. So what I actually plan on doing, and I have to let this dry, so I hope I don't mess this up, is I plan on taking a few polishes and dry brushing the color on, and I'll share with you the colors that I plan on doing. And I haven't done this, so I don't really know how this is going to turn out. But one of the colors I plan on using, and one of my very favorite colors to wear by itself, is this China Glaze Let's Jam. I like this so much, I got a backup of it, and as you can see, it's got an iridescence in it there. I'm also planning on incorporating this one, which is Beauty Marks the Spot. And this is Morgan Taylor. And then one of my favorite pinks is Two Timing the Zones. There's also Kiss Me on My Tulips from OPI that I love, but I don't have that one out. And this is a very pretty color. I also plan on incorporating UV Meant to Be, another color I love wearing by itself, sponging white over or even silver and stamping in black. It's almost like a cross between a light sky blue and a light teal. It depends on what I'm thinking as to what color it is to me when I use it. And then I'm also going to use this Ruffle Those Feathers again. Another Morgan Taylor shade. And this is the first time that I think I've tried filming from the back of my camera, or the first time I've tried a nail look. I think I might have done something and shown you before. And again, this base color here is Hue is the artist, and this is from the New Mexico line. And I've always thought that whites are kind of chalky, but then I'm not very adept at applying a white. But since I'm going to be putting other things on top of this, it won't matter. The nail plates that I plan to use, and I do think I'll be able to show you this a little bit better, is this image right here, which is the image that I actually had on in the last manicure that I did. It was these two, since you can see that clearer now. I plan on using something intricate. You've often heard me say that if you have short nails, small nail beds, just use something intricate. So you can definitely see more of that. I'm going to be seeing about the images on here. However, I like to take this image here and turn it in different directions. When I have more length on my nail, I like this at the tip. Otherwise, I like to use this part right here. I'm glad you can see those clearer though. And the original one that I had thought that I was going to be using was this one right here, which I love this one over pastels and white. I just love it. So we're going to see. I'm just going to pick a few different images and we're just going to see what happens. So when this dries, we're going to dry brush, and then I plan on top coating with this Hallucinate by Wet n Wild. Y'all have seen me use different things as a constant topper. My OPI Para-Wet My Whistle, my Fairy Dust, which this takes a while to dry. I usually use this as the final thing when I use it with a top coat over it. But the Para-Wet My Whistle and my Hallucinate here, it helps the polishes to dry faster. So we will see. Okay, that's back on. So what I want to do now is just take these various colors and dry brush them on the nail, which as you can see, I started this hand here. And I'm not going to do this in any particular order. I'm going to try to do this where you can see it. So I will start from this side. I am just going to try to hit the base. And that's all I'm going to do. Just the random colors. Now, if you're working with a few colors, like 3 or 4, you will probably have a particular placement that you want them in. And if I didn't say, I don't know if I did, if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. I've got my phone with the back camera facing me, and it's in front of a mirror so that I can kind of see what you're seeing. And I don't want to record this way, but I think for some things where you may need to be able to see clearly what I'm doing, such as these nails, because I hate to show you a nail design and then you can't see clearly the pattern. And I also want to say, with the certain thing that we all have going on in the world, I've noticed that if you place that in your video, they will demonetize your video. At first, I thought that's what they were doing. But apparently, they're demonetizing these videos immediately, and then you have to submit a claim. But it says that you have to have 1,000 views first. So one of my videos, they did undo it on, but as you know, I took that out of there. They didn't tell me to. I just did because I've never had that happen before. And any information that I give on that, anyway, I would not make the video a monetized one just because. And I will say this. Like I said, I had left a message under someone's video that I follow, that I love, and that I respect. They know who they are. And someone else had placed under their video that they didn't need to wear a mask. And I will say this, like I said before, do what makes you feel safe. But what the person who made that comment probably doesn't know is that I am in healthcare. So I will be wearing a mask. It's not required that I wear one at work yet. But I will say this. I don't know how much of what we're learning is factual and how much of it is true. I don't want to find out the hard way. And like I said, I also use public transportation. There's a lot of coughing and hacking and sneezing even during regular cold season. And those people don't cover their mouth. And what a lot of people don't know is that really does hang in the air for 45 minutes. You can look that one up. And like I said, it's how when I've taken every precaution there is, and then all of a sudden I got a runny nose and I don't know how, it's because I probably walked in the path of someone that did that. And I know we can't be 100% safe, but all we can do right now is just pray and listen to the news and just hope that we're all okay. And I'm mostly worried for my son because, as you know, I had a tragedy that happened. But he was diagnosed with asthma at 10 months, and he seems to think that in light of certain things that have happened, he's invincible. And I try to tell him that he is not. Because being that that's a respiratory thing, I worry. So I'm going to wear a mask whether they recommend it or not. Now, I'm not going out to the store buying droves of masks. They're available to me where I'm at. And I also happen to have some here at home for various things. And I do have the correct kind. Because I feel like if I do that, then I also won't make someone else sick. You know, so I don't know. But that's all I'm going to say on that, because a lot of people are worried about that as far as bringing it up on their channels. You know what I mean? And because they also want their channels to be a positive outlook, but at the same time, they don't want anyone to think that, you know, they are not abreast of the situation, which the same thing is for me. Y'all know that I work in healthcare. Y'all know that a lot of people here that have beauty channels also work in healthcare. So I would say just do whatever makes you feel safe and keep up with the news. So what we're going to be doing here next is I am going to be putting this Hallucinate on top of my nails. And hopefully you can see that, and I know that looks a mess right now. I'm going to be putting that on top of this. We're going to let this dry. And then I will be using some of this Mani mask and we will stamp. So I'm going to pause for a moment here again. So all this does is just give a light layer to kind of blend those colors together. We're going to see how this turns out. I'm kind of curious because I have done looks with white. White may overtake this, I don't know. So we're going to let this dry and we're going to come back and get the stamping. So in the meantime, I wanted to share, I am in the midst of needing more Seche Vite. This is my top coat of choice. It dries fast in 5 minutes. Touch dry is what it dries. I'm on the last ends, and usually when it looks like this, I use it for rhinestones, but I can also use this, but I prefer to use this if I'm leaving my manicure on a day or two later and I'm just going over it to gloss it up, or this one right here. I prefer to use my Seche Vite. So tomorrow, because so many things are closed, I don't know if Blondie's will be open. They are private business, so they were probably the first ones to close, but if they are, I will wait, but I will get 2 more of these. I generally do buy 2 more when I'm on my last one, and when I'm feeling froggy, I buy 3. And also, my acetone of choice has always been this. Ever since I've been on here nail stamping, I've used the Up and Up brand or this one. Every blue moon, I've had to get a 3rd brand just because this wasn't available. I buy this in the acetone pure here, and the pink one, which I thought was non-acetone, and someone informed me it stood for non-abrasive. So against my Zoya, I like the pink one in this form, and I like this white one, but you have to have acetone for stamping. It just depends if it's an acetone of your choosing. So again, we're going to let this dry, and then we'll come back and start some stamping. All right, so I think this is dry enough to stamp. We will see. I am armed with my Mani Guard. I used this one, like I said, from the Maniology box. I don't really like it. I don't like any of them per se because it's a struggle to keep your fingers from touching. And when they do, it sticks. So I try to start with like the middle finger, just so those 2 aren't near. And that's the first one we're going to do. There's also this one by Moyu London. And I have not met any of these that I can particularly say that I love, but they are helpful. I'm going to be stamping with my Mundo de Unis white. Sometimes I use Bones. It is an off-white. I don't know how far apart they look on here, but you can tell in person. And I'm going to be using this stamper and my scraper. You can also use a credit card. So I'm going to just do this just to be sure that I'm not going to be smashing anything, because I do plan on keeping this particular manicure on if this works out. So we're going to start with this image here, and I'm so glad that you can see that. We're going to put that on the middle finger using this white, and then I will try to take this off, because right now my fingers are touching and I'm trying really hard for them not to. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the plate, this white, and then we're going to scrape up into those grooves, and I'm going to be using these little pads right here. So we're going to see how this does. And this stamper has kind of dried out. Okay. And that right there is what that's going to look like. So we're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to be using this to clean that off. So we're going to do the same thing to the middle finger, and then we're going to move to a different plate. Because my nails are so short, I do feel like this particular one works better when my nails are of medium length. And I also feel like it looks better depending on what look I am incorporating it with. And then we just simply try to take this off. I'm going to try to do that with this for now. I don't want that to stick to that. And I don't want it to stick to anything else, but that's about what we have right there. We're going to pause while I take the other off. Okay, next we're going to do these two images right here. See if I can show you this one, and then you'll kind of see what I mean when I say an intricate design looks better on smaller nails. So we're going to do probably these two right here. And this one, I like to just turn it a certain way. It doesn't even matter. And that's what that looks like right there. Then we're going to do the other nail. And here we did it on the thumb and the ring finger. And we'll do the same thing on the other hand. And I really do love this image. I especially love doing it in black. And there you go. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. And again, we'll do the same thing on the ring finger, and then we'll move to another image. You see, I just think that looks better than this one on the index finger. I'm sorry, on the middle finger. I think that it looks better when it's one of these images. And then the next one that we'll do will probably be the one next to it, like I stated. And I love these particular two, especially this one that I'm about to do in fall colors. Like on the background of the nail. Okay, there we go. And one of the great things about Mundo de Unas polish is you actually have time to show the image and still be able to stamp it. And I will also just do that same image on the pinky finger. All right, guys, that is it. And I did want to share, what you do is you put the polish over the image. You put enough that puts it in the grooves, and you use this. So I do want to share this with you. This is pre-washing my hands. And as you can see, I took the middle one off because I want it to match. Because like I said, I do want to keep this on so you can see the difference, and you can see how the camouflage is. Like, you can't tell that I've got damage to my nail under there. You can see up close the peeling. I need to stop doing that. And how this acetone dries your hands out. That's why you hear me say after I do a nail look, I spend a series of hand washings to straighten it out. But I hope that you like this look, and I hope that you can see it clearly. And if I do a video tomorrow, you'll see it after it's all cleaned up and moisturized and everything. But I think I'm going to take and redo those two nails, and just to use a different image, I'm going to use this one. It's very similar to the one that I did on the other side, but it is not quite the same. Or I'll just go ahead and use this one again. But that was it. Until the next time, everyone have a great night.